for a little bit about OnePlus. Hopefully you guys are having a good day. The event seemed kind of, I don't know. Let's let's chop it up for just a little bit. So we are going to let me post this on my website real quick. Hold on a second. It's kind of crazy how I watched that event and I'm impressed. Let's just say I'm not getting ready to get on video and say I'm not impressed. That's totally not the thing. Let's see here. I'm gonna turn on my Wi-Fi. This LAN isn't doing me any justice. All right, here we go. There we go. Can you guys see me good? Let me open up another one here and make sure I can see me. Looks like it's frozen on my side. All right, there you go. I see a few people in there. On my side, I'm getting a delay. Here we go. All right, yeah. I turned on Wi-Fi and I was on LAN, but I'm using my Mac, so I plugged in. But here we go. Let's kick this thing off, folks. Let's see if we can go. Audio sound good, folks? Audio good? Sound check. Everything good? Appreciate everybody stopping by for a minute. Speakers good? Everything good? Waiting to get some feedback from you guys. Everything good? Okay, is that everything good? Get some feedback. Everything's good. All good. Okay, good. All right, good deal. All right, man. OnePlus. Yeah, I'm impressed. Just gonna jump straight in there and say I'm impressed. I think the event though. It seems like with the event they were looking for something. They were looking to. I don't know. It's like they were trying too hard to get everybody to say "Hey" and scream and stuff like that. But that event wasn't. I believe that was in New York, if I'm not mistaken. I think that event was in New York. But nonetheless, forget about how the event. Most events are boring. You know, sometimes I want to have an event and just get straight to it, like Google does. I like Google's events now. I like Apple's events overall. You know, I like the pre-recorded events. What's going on, David? I see you, David Rice. I see you, Barry Johnson. I see you guys coming in. I like the pre-recorded events. It's so that sounds crazy, but I'm so used to the pre-recorded events now that it doesn't. I'm not really impressed with these fake screens from the audience or whatever it is. But yeah, man, we're gonna chat for a little bit about this thing. So I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think they can still take that title. I guess not flagship killer. It's a flagship killer in the form of specs. I'm gonna order. I'm gonna buy. I've been waiting to get one. I was just kind of waiting to see what they would do, and I'm impressed. I feel like they've done a good job, but I guess to the point where it's right in line with everybody else. The only difference is their price is less. And I guess that's something to be excited about. We should be excited. You know what I mean? It's a good thing. I do want to talk about. I got to do it. I got to talk about their trade-ins. Their trade-ins are great compared to what we've seen recently from Samsung. Their trade-ins are actually pretty good because currently right now you can get a OnePlus 10 Pro for $599 or $499 if you decide to buy it through Best Buy. And that's a phenomenal deal. And I have my 10 Pro and I have some other older OnePlus devices, but they're not really offering anything for those. But I was surprised to see that with the trade-in, they're offering $500 for the OnePlus 10 Pro. Now, I was chatting with some of the cats in my group, excuse me, this morning. Excuse me. Every time I get on camera, throat starts. You know, I start to get it perfectly fine before I turn on this camera, and all of a sudden, start getting trolled by my own body. But I was kind of surprised at the trade-in value. So really, they're giving $300 for most of their devices, the higher price ones, but they're offering a $200 boost on all of the devices. And they're giving a pretty nice amount of money for some of the older 13 devices. The 13 Pro Max, they're giving more than Apple gives. And that's crazy. They really want to get you over to OnePlus, and it shouldn't be too hard. The OnePlus phones are great. I want to read off something here to you. They're offering $820 for the 13 Pro Max. $820 for the 13 Pro Max. Tell me that's not a good deal. That's way more than what Apple is giving to get you to get another iPhone. But they want to get you over. They want to switch you over to them. That's what they want to do. So it's a good strategy. It's a really good strategy. I was talking and I was like, man, should I really? What's up, Johan? I see you guys coming in. I was thinking, should I really trade in my 10 Pro and get the 11? I want to. I mean, that's just one number I thought. I can read some more of their trade-ins out there. They're giving $500 for the 10 Pro, and I think that's a super deal. It's just though, as a creator, I want to keep mine so I can compare. That's really the only reason I would keep this device right here. I've been using it. I've been using it every day. I've been preparing myself for my 11, and I just kind of been like, I'm gonna go ahead and use this thing, and I'm just gonna use. And I've always liked it. I've always given OnePlus props for their hardware, with the best feeling hardware, of all the flagships I have. And the OnePlus 10 Pro is a flagship. I appreciate the super chat from Xander. I appreciate that. But I mean, the trade-in deals, I'm going to read off some more of these trade-in deals here. Now, they have a section for OnePlus devices, and they have a section for other brands. OnePlus is taking, for my 13 Pro, they're offering $720. I don't plan on getting rid of it, but they're offering some. The point I'm getting at, they're giving a $200 boost on all devices, pretty much, that they know they can flip back out or get some use out of it. And their own brand, their own devices, the 10 Pro is like their top of the line device right now, and they're offering $500, and they're offering $500 because it sells for $500. I think that's a pretty fair deal if I were going to trade in. And if you bought it at full, originally when I bought it, I paid $8.99 for it. I paid $8.99 for it because I bought it direct from Best Buy. I didn't buy it from OnePlus. I couldn't get it from OnePlus. I kept trying, and for some reason I just couldn't get it. They kept delaying the shipping, so I walked into Best Buy and bought mine. I bought this unlocked one from Best Buy, and that was the plan to do this time. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and buy it from Best Buy because I have so many people that shop at Best Buy a lot. You get points, and you get money built up, and you can actually just use it. And so ultimately, that's what I have. I have a lot of money on Best Buy, and I think it's impressive to note that Best Buy has opted to give phenomenal trade-in values towards their devices. I'm getting a delay on my side for some reason. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna keep rolling because I can see you guys, and I can see you can see me. You can see me. I can see you. You see me. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, Sean P. I see you, man. What's going on? I see people coming in. I see. Okay, now I'm back. I'm getting this weird glitch here, but nonetheless, the buds. I was gonna go down the list on that too. The buds. There are a lot of. What do you think about the tablet? I mean, did I miss something, or did they announce the tablet pricing? Did I miss? Or did I miss? I must have missed something because I didn't see them. I didn't see them announce the tablet pricing. I could have missed it. I watched everything. Okay. I'm not crazy. All right. Yeah. I was wondering. I said I know that they announced pricing for things, but I don't recall them announcing the tablet pricing. Okay, yeah. I thought I missed something. I rewound it back and I scanned through it several times, and I was like, "There's no way that I missed this pricing." But I can tell you what, if I've always been a OnePlus fan, whether they support my channel or not, I just buy this stuff because I like it. And OnePlus, the 10 Pro, I've always felt it was a great device because I use it, and I just feel like the 11 is another step in the right direction. My only concern is just going to be video. It's always video with me. You've got to have good video. If you go to my car channel after the stream, you'll see the last two videos. And the last two videos, I didn't use my very nice, I mean, I paid good money for my GoPro and my Action 3. I actually used the S22 Ultra to record those videos. Crystal clear, folks. And this is what I'm talking about as a creator. I want to have the best video possible. I need the best video possible. I've got to have the strongest video capabilities of a device that a person could want as a creator or a person who loves to shoot videos and post online. That's just how I am with it. Let me plug in my thing here, folks. Pardon me. Pardon me, folks. I don't need to plug in, but I like to plug in while I'm on a stream. I'm using my Mac for this one. But BG, what's going on? I see you, man. Hey, Joseph, I see you guys coming in. Appreciate you coming in. CJ, all you guys. But yeah, man, I'm impressed to the point where it was an instant buy for me. Some people are going to look at the OnePlus 7, OnePlus 11, and rip it apart and say, camera's still not on point. This is not on point. This is not on point. But for me, the way I see it is, okay, now I'm not trying to shine on anybody, but I see people posting videos saying they're back, they're back. I don't think they ever left. And I just think that the energy from certain creators will push a device in a certain direction and then people follow. I don't think OnePlus has ever fallen off. I just think that marketing for them got worse when they had to just sell their devices. And if you leave it to, because T-Mobile was a carrier that actually helped them. So I don't feel like OnePlus has ever fallen off as a company. I think, unfortunately, the narratives are set by certain people and they push a device out. Pretty much, they just push it out. They shuffle it out. They say it's bad and everyone agrees with it. Pretty much, people who really follow creators like that. Yeah, that's that. You know what? I gotta admit, I have to wonder if this was something that happened. I wonder if this is something that happened, because I saw all these videos. I'm like, why are they all titled the same? They're back, and all this other stuff. I'm like, but they never freaking left. They never left. I don't feel like OnePlus left the room at all. I think they were very relevant. I just think the powers that be of Samsung and Apple, let's call it like it is, they pay more. They pay better. Or, the relationships have to be kept. And I'm not saying creators are getting paid off. I'm saying that for some reason, people tend to gravitate towards those companies as they are the golden standard. Let's call it like it is. They're the golden standard. And I feel like OnePlus has never left the building. They just got flexed on and pushed out the way by people creating a narrative saying that they're bad products. Now, I bought the products. Whether I buy it or not, I'm still going to give a neutral review on something. But I feel like the OnePlus 10 is fantastic. Video capabilities, video capabilities have always been something that I'm going to be extra firm on because I want to use it for videos. And the videos outside, like most places or most phones can go to many places outside and they can shoot great video. People talk about the 14 Plus like it's just the worst device in the world. And in fact, that device is better than tons of Android devices out there, or just tons of phones out there, even some Apple phones, when it's straight up performance and cameras and things like that. But I just feel like OnePlus has never left the building. They just got pushed out the door and somebody closed the screen door behind them. For those who have a screen door still or had one as a kid, they pushed it out and they pushed it out and they told, they were told, hey, don't give this device no love. It's a shame. Quad HD display, 120 hertz display, Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. That's what everything else has. Everything else has that, but everything else costs how much more? Costs a lot. And to say it's not a flagship, and remember, I don't have to use these terminologies. This is what the industry does, and they put these labels on them, and this is just how it works. But to say that it's not on par or shouldn't be in the conversation with the Pixel 7 Pro, the S22 Ultra and all these other phones out there, to say that it should not be in that conversation, you're a little naive, I think. I think OnePlus has definitely earned their spot in the spotlight, um, and they've earned the respect of a lot of people out there, not just creators. OnePlus has a huge following, folks. If you're not in the OnePlus community, like literally, there's a OnePlus community. I've been in it since day one, and you know, they have more people that are not creators in their community. Yeah, they have more people that are not creators. What's going on, T? They have people that are not creators in the OnePlus community. There's a huge following for OnePlus. Like every brand, there's a huge following. But if people find themselves just following a certain group of people and thinking that what they say is all right, you're gonna get led astray. Just have to get people to actually know who they are. Again, and I would add to T's comment again. What they did to get people to know them the first time was they created this bull crap. What was it? Invitation only. But it drew people in. It made people think they were really getting something exclusive. And at that time, they were, because I was walking around here like, man, I can't even get a freaking invite, blah, blah, blah. It was a good hype train. I don't suggest that they start doing that again, but they really got to get a hold of their marketing now, because their products are on par, if not better, than a lot of devices out there. But like he's saying right here, it's true. You gotta, and I think they need to get the help of more carriers, because they struggled with. I think their phones struggled with AT&T and Verizon. Verizon got on board, and T-Mobile was the first one. I still say T-Mobile was their first exclusive carrier, I believe. And on T-Mobile, I actually would go into a T-Mobile store, and I would see a bunch of stuff from OnePlus and people actually selling the OnePlus devices. I remember going to a T-Mobile store on launch day for OnePlus devices, and it would be lines outside the store. That's just what it was. It was a good thing. But now, again, unfortunately, some people have created this narrative that it's a low-budget phone or it's a mid-range phone. You know what I mean? What's BG's comment? $699 is a phenomenal starting price for an actual flagship that competes. Because when you think about $699, 8 gigs, 128 gigs model. Also, some real technical things about their phones. They have Wi-Fi 7. Now, I have Wi-Fi 6E for my setup at home. There is no Wi-Fi 7, but they've future-proofed their device when it comes to that for at least the next 2 to 3 years. You know what I mean? And then you've got DDR5X, which is the fastest. Now, these are things that techies are going to talk about, or people who are just kind of into those little things like that. You know what I mean? But these are ways to keep their device on top of others. I didn't hear Samsung focusing on that at all. I didn't hear too many other companies focusing on DDR5X or Wi-Fi 7, none of that. Okay, so one thing that it doesn't have is wireless charging. If that's a deal breaker for you, raise your hand. I'm not putting my hand up. That's not a deal breaker for me. But if you feel like that's a deal breaker, that it doesn't have wireless charging, I guess show of hands. I personally will not. Now you can get to that question and answer it. I personally would not want wireless charging if it's going to save me $500. The official IP ratings. I don't have to have any of that stuff. When the last time you dropped your phone in a bucket of water, got caught in a rainstorm and slush, and it just got slammed in the snow? You know what I mean? Like, when is the last time that actually happened? When's the last time that actually happened? Now let's comment. I want to get your feedback on this person's comment. Wireless charging is a deal breaker for a flagship. Now, my opinion on that is the opposite. Again, certain groups of people create these narratives that this is something that you have to have. Now, Zipalipacornigon, I butchered your name or whatever, but I'm not saying you're wrong. Don't take it that way, son. I'm saying wireless charging does not have to be on a flagship, because there's tons of other flagships that don't have wireless charging. But I respect your opinion on that. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I get it. Wireless charging to me is not the fundamentals of a flagship. Would you rather have wireless charging at the expense of adding $300 to the price of the phone? I mean, that's wireless charging is something that people, I'm saying, like they use overnight or whatever. Most people, and the only company that has really fast wireless charging in the US is OnePlus. 50 watts or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, there's no wrong answer. So I'm saying, like, there's no wrong answer. I'm just speaking out, you know what I mean? Like saying it's totally not worth having a higher price tag and an official rating for water and all that stuff. Here's one. I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read Barrett real quick. Until wireless charging is fast, like some of the international phones, which is what I was gonna get to next, but he already hit it up. Wireless charging is, in most instances, trash. That's pretty much the only way you can describe that. Uh, if you can word it like that, it's not very good. And I know people might be complaining about this because OnePlus offered the 50-watt wireless charging, but like this person says here, I'd rather have fast charging. This person said, I'd rather have an IP68 rating over wireless charging. If I work outside a lot, I get it. Rarely use it, too slow for me. This is the real world. Even though you guys are in a stream, these are real world. This is how a lot of people probably would feel about this. Again, there's no wrong answer. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people get mad and stuff. Don't get your feelings hurt. Don't get all upset. We're just conversating. Some people like wireless charging. Some people don't. I think the only time I've used wireless charging is with this MagSafe. I'll pop my iPhone on my thing next to my bed and go to sleep. Or I'll pop it on there and to listen to music. I don't know. I rarely use wireless charging as a means to, I'm actually trying to charge my phone. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Like, fast charging is just better. But not a deal breaker. These batteries are good enough. That's correct. The batteries are good enough to last long enough. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like wireless charging is a deal breaker on a flagship, respect. Personally, I think the majority might say totally not worth it. It's too slow. And other, like, some good examples, other people said I'd rather have IP68 rating because it only has an IP64 rating, but they gave it a rating this time. You know what I mean? Like, they gave it a rating. They gave it an official rating. And sometimes, OnePlus, they'll be like, "No, we're not giving you no official rating. It costs for us to do that." And I had more respect for them when they was doing that. You know what I mean? Like, when they was just telling us it's more money we pay more money to have that added. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. $699 starting price, ridiculous. Get out of here. It's a phenomenal price. There's no way that a person could say that that's a bad price. And it has these same specs. OnePlus is really competing against the other market. It's competing against the other market. It's competing against the market that is not in the US. I guess I'll say. I'm trying to get as many of your comments up here. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Well, regular charging is better per se for the life of the battery. You can have it to where you can fast charge. Like, I don't fast charge all the time if I'm going to keep something for a long time, you know what I mean? But regular charging, the slower charging is actually better. Like, to plug in with a not so fast charger, it helps the life of the battery over 5 years or so. But people aren't really keeping phones that long, you know what I mean? Flagship fundamentals are display, cameras, performance, and network connectivity. Most people don't talk about network connectivity, but that's important because they keep pushing us in the direction of we're going to be 5G, and then next thing we're going to start talking about 6G when 5G isn't stable. 4G is just now covering everybody. 4G is a blanket of just great coverage. You know what I mean? It's a blanket of great coverage. Okay, so Zippin Long Ping Dong came back around and said, hey, what I mean is, by that is in my country, which is in Europe, the OnePlus 256 gig is $899 pounds. And I bought my OnePlus 7 Pro 256 gig for £179 a few weeks ago on Amazon. Everything comes down to price versus specs, etc. Okay, that's your explanation. I hear you. USB 2.0 is only going to be an issue to me, would be for transfer speeds. Appreciate it. Let me see here. Get it. Oh, well, no. I'm sorry. UFS 4.0 is what it has. You're correct. USB 2.0 could be somewhat of an issue as far as charging goes. My bad. I was getting ahead of myself. It does have UFS 4.0, I believe, which is going to be great for transfer speeds. USB 2.0 is going to be for charging speed. So yeah, you're right. They got to bump that up to 3, and they'll be on there. So OnePlus took notes from the Pixel 6a, pick a different thing out. Yeah. 6a is obviously one of the best devices out there, and it's just what it is. Nice to have a portable wireless charger. Yeah, of course. I think most people carry a portable charger nowadays. I have, like, when I go for a walk sometimes, depending on what I'm carrying, if I got like a backpack or something like that, I got a lot of stuff back there, and a portable charger is one of them. Yeah. Yeah. They're not going to be sold on T-Mobile? Whoa, I didn't catch that. I mean, I try to live unlocked as much as possible anyway, but I can understand T-Mobile has a big following for people on OnePlus. So man, another good one, reverse wireless charging on phones. That has got to be one of the most wasteful. I don't know anybody. The only time I see people talking about they using this is when they want to defend that they used it once. I mean, no shots, but I see a lot of people talking about, oh, it's the best. I'm like, well, how often do you use it? And they don't even really use it that long. Because it's too slow. It's like what, 2.5 watts or something like that. The best that might be able to charge is some headphones, but even then, I don't. You're right. That reverse wireless charging to me is another garbage one that nobody really uses reverse wireless charging. People who say they do, I'm shocked. I'm shocked at people who say they use reverse wireless charging. I don't know anybody in the real world that uses reverse wireless charging. I don't think so. Okay. Rich Reed in the house. Now, if wireless charger didn't require a wire, then yeah. I mean, if we could have, you've seen some of the desks now that plug in where you can put the pad on the bottom, but even those aren't. Again, it's just not. Wireless charging just is not. Nah. It's just not something that's a requirement for me. OnePlus just knocked the draws off the market for killers. I like what I was saying earlier. I think that I think they were probably told to label it like that. Sometimes, now let's be clear. I've gotten review units in before because obviously everybody who has this phone, they got a review unit. So most of the titles I see is their back. And if you're just coming in, I already talked about this, but I don't think they ever left the room. I think I'll say we as creators and people who are influencers, they pushed it out of the room and told people not to deal with them. That's the sad part. What's going on, Spain? I see you. What's going on? Appreciate you, baby. Appreciate you, Spain. Let's see what John says here. At least OnePlus is honest about why they don't add official IP rate. Yeah, a lot of people who watch these companies do this. Most companies don't say, I'm going to do this because it's going to cost me so much money, so I'm not going to do it. Most companies don't do that. OnePlus, on the other hand, they're like, look, listen, this is why we're not doing it. This is why we're not doing it. Simply put, we're not going to do it because it's going to cost us too much money. It's going to increase. What phone stacks up best in the US? If you're talking about the OnePlus 11, the OnePlus 11 technically outshines all of the current devices on paper. The only thing it has to do is has good video cameras for me, because we already know the photos. And again, when it comes to this, so people pick it apart. People pick apart every phone. The S23, we picked that apart. The iPhones, everybody picks these phones apart. And in reality, camera quality a lot of times is always subjective. It's never, no one's eyes are going to focus on something and say it's the best all the time. You might have a high percentage of people that really like the pixel quality. Like when a blind camera test, the pixel cameras will win every time, because that is what people really like. They really like the way the pixel devices look. However, when you label these things and put them out, people are just going to go with their favorite. They're not going to be honest with themselves. That's why I love blind camera tests. It tells the truth. And even then, it could be manipulated. Unless the best blind camera test is to get 4 people who are influencers, have a neutral party there, another neutral party to record, have them all stand and take the photos of the same thing, and then walk over to 50 people and say, what do you think? Other than that, the best we can do is rely on what's being uploaded. But I can tell you that the way Google's photographs are, it's well liked by the majority of the people out there, but they won't ever admit it because they're being told that it's a pixel. But in most situations, the iPhone loses in a blind camera test, and the Pixel wins. Even in my own, like, I've put Samsung against Samsung, and the phones that people say are trash are going to lose always win, and they're the ones picking them. So, yeah, people really don't know what they want. Technically, they're just going by what they're told to like as far as brands go. This is why I'm surprised that OnePlus got so much hate for some reason, and they are a good brand. Simply put, they're a good brand, and there's no reason to hate on OnePlus whatsoever. None whatsoever. I said time and time again, reverse wireless charging is the most overrated feature. Yeah, you know it. It's overrated. Yep, that is correct. So I guess it's official. No OnePlus is going to be on T-Mobile. I'm surprised about that too. I'm surprised about that. I am shocked because T-Mobile gave them that push. They gave them that push that they needed to get them to make them important in the U.S. And now I guess their contract. They might have had a contract with them, and they might have said, "Hey, look, we'll give you 5 years." You know what I'm saying? And after that, we out, son. You know what I'm saying? You go push your own product. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? People sign contracts all the time. And even the rare, and that even that's rare for me to use reverse wireless charging for hair. But yeah, I mean, it's just not something that, yeah, it's not something that's hidden. All right, so what do you think about, what's it say here? What do you think about the Pro version we're released? I don't think there's going to be a Pro version, at least no time soon. I've heard sayings that there's not even going to be a Pro version. Yeah. They really ain't doing nothing Google hasn't been doing. They just came back to reality. Okay? I mean, it's a stock Android. Oh, speaking of Android. So let me catch up to the front of the comments here. Speaking of Android, some people feel some type of way about Color OS. I personally have no problems with this. It's a matter of that again is just all preference. You like what you like, and you like what you don't like something. It's just what it is. You cannot force somebody to like something. But I don't see the point of digging in. Now, if it's just bad, it's bad. Now, there are some OSs that are just bad. They just don't look good. And turn my lighting down a little bit. And it's nothing you can do about it. Or it runs really bad. It could be anything. But Color OS, man, is actually really good. In my personal opinion, after using it for all this time, it's good. Am I referring to MKBHD? Absolutely not. I don't know what that was related to, but no, I'm not referring to anybody. Color OS is the worst Android operating system of all. Okay, it's just a skin. It's not so much an operating system, I would say, because the foundation is Android. But again, it's always a mixed bag. Everybody has and there's no wrong answer. Color OS is basically just like TouchWiz. It's just a skin overlaying over Android, man. That's all it is. That's all it is. They're all. If you want Android, true Android, pick this up. Pick it up. Get this. Get this. I mean, I'm pausing for dramatic effect, but if for people that don't like and a skin overlay, that's what you got Google for. I've always said, And that's the difference. OnePlus wanted to differentiate themselves by going to their. I mean, they're owned by Oppo. Last time I checked, right? So they want to get back. They want to save themselves some money. Probably, it's got to be a money move because it's the same thing. But most people are just gonna put Nova Launcher on it if they don't like something. That's the good thing about Android. All you have to do is put another skin over it. I mean, it's just another. Uh, yeah, it's just another overlay. You want the best, you got to go to the best. You want the best experience with Android, you got to go to who's giving you the best experience with Android. Stock Android is always going to be Google, in my humble opinion. Jay, what's your favorite OnePlus? For me, I was about to say, I've said that a billion times. It's the 3T because I don't have to have wireless charging. I don't have to have some of the things that are on the current devices, but I can guarantee you the OnePlus 3T was one of my favorite. And then the OnePlus 7 Pro McLaren Edition was another good one that I love. Just that 7 lineup was phenomenal, man. But the 3T, oh wait, yeah, they're having a sale because they're gonna take this. It's a competition thing, man. It's a competition thing. These companies have to battle, and we got to make them fight so then we get the best price. We should make them fight so we can get all these low prices, and that's just what it is. They don't have a choice but to battle with each other because when they battle, we win. When they battle with each other over pricing and all that stuff, we win. We win. And I just think that's the best thing ever. If I didn't already have this Pixel 6, and just to be clear, that's with activation. But here's the thing about activation. You can get the $300 off or whatever it shows here. You can get this $300 off when you activate. Folks, activating through Best Buy, it's not a big deal. The phone is still unlocked. You don't owe anything to the carriers. You're just buying it through Best Buy so they get credit for pushing the devices because you're not locked into a contract because you're paying full cost and your phone is unlocked. That's it. Always do the activation price when it comes to that stuff. Always do the activation price because if you don't do the activation price, it's full price. It's $850 for the 256 gig. And a really good deal looks like it's $799 for the 512 gig. That's a really solid deal. But if you want to experience Android, I say go with Google always, man. Always go with Google. They're always offering the best experience, and that way you don't have to. You don't have to. So let me see here. I'm looking at this T-Mobile stuff. T-Mobile will still carry the Nori series because they sell best. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that they sold the best over there. Probably because it's an affordable device. I would say that's probably why it might sell at a lower cost. I use Nova Launcher way back. I don't have time to customize phones. All you have to do is whatever you see. The thing about that is you set it up once with Nova Launcher, and then you restore from your backup. Just put your backup in the cloud. Put your backup on a Google backup file service somewhere and restore it back because it gives you the option to restore from a backup. That's the good thing about Nova Launcher. Yeah. That's the way I use it when I'm going to do it. The need for a lower price and more reliable device move towards Samsung A53 4 months ago. The Samsung A53 is one of the worst devices ever released. And I was appalled to hear tons of people saying that. And again, I know it's just their opinion. I respect it. But the A53 is one of the worst devices ever released, in my humble opinion, of owning it. It was freaking horrible. It's trash. Motorola devices run circles around that device. And tons of other devices, I might add. But yeah, the A53 is one of the most garbage Samsung phones I have ever freaking owned. It was horrible. I hate that I spent that $450 on it. It was trash. It was garbage. That was one of the worst phones ever. When I saw people saying that was a good buy versus Pixel phones, I was like, you got to be freaking crazy. what the heck are y'all getting paid to be telling people that the Samsung A53 is a great device? Ugh, it was freaking horrible, man. Now, what I've heard through the grapevine is that the A54 is actually going to be a beast because they're making some serious changes. But that's just rumor mill. We'll see how that goes. I do plan on picking up the A54. I got some cases in for it already or whatever. And I said, yo, I have the A53. I hate it. I can't even resell it. You are absolutely right. So when Samsung brings some kind of trade in for that, son, you better give it back to Samsung. You better get rid of that thing while you can and give it back to them because that's one of the worst devices ever. Worst. So OnePlus, if you go through the application, for those that already have a OnePlus, can you install? I don't know if you can install the OnePlus app on another non-OnePlus phone. They might do that. They might let you do it. But when you go into the OnePlus store and pay for your device, it automatically picks up which phone you have. So when you go in, it picks it up right away. It takes you to that. And it instantly knows that I'm using a OnePlus 10 Pro. And it offers me $300 plus a $200 boost to trade in. Let me ask you a question right here on the stream. Answer me right now. Should I go ahead and trade in this for $500 and get the new OnePlus 11? It's not a trick question. It's not a test. I'm actually debating. I was talking to people in my chat this morning. I was like, man, I really would love to trade it in, but I want to compare it. But I'm thinking, is it really worth comparing? I can get rid of this for $500 and pretty much get the other device for $100 or whatever. Should I trade this in and take the $500 and put it towards the 11? Should I do it? They're also offering $50 off of the Buds Pro 2. Wow. I'm wondering what your responses are going to be for the trade-in. Hey, in the U.S. Or official markets, Google Pixel 5 has 5G. For example, Romania, Google is not official. It's a gray market, and 5G is not working. Yeah, that's too bad. I've seen people with the A53 in person, and honestly, question people who actually recommend that device. I'm telling you. All right, so let's get to some of your let's see, why not? $500, absolutely. Why not? Yeah, do it. $500 trading's a good deal. Trading. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get this. Now I don't want the green this year. The green is shiny, and that was going to be something that I was going to talk about. The green is shiny. I don't want a shiny. I like this soft touch. The black actually feels like the soft touch. Yeah, so I wouldn't go with the green. Yeah, no way. Yeah, if you get $500 on trade in, okay. Probably it's good to be honest. Do it, although I don't think it's much foam getting. True. The cameras are supposed to be really, really solid, though, in comparison, though. It's supposed to be really good. Do they only accept... No. There's a whole nother section. When you go to trade in, you can trade in whatever you want to trade in, and they're offering a $200 boost right now on it. So, yeah. A lot of money you don't have. Well, I got it. It's just a matter of me wanting to keep this one to collect it or whatever, And these will come around. These will come a dime a dozen, and I'll be able to get another one later on. But yeah, I got $50 off, man. Yeah. OnePlus has done it. You know what I thought was pretty strange that they did? They offered. They announced a keyboard. Was anybody else like a keyboard? Okay, the tablet was cool and everything. Get it? But when you saw that keyboard, weren't you like, keyboard? Like, who is this? Who is this for? I mean, weren't you like, oh, smart idea, Grant. Grant is the man. I would definitely take Grant's advice. Oh yeah, because they're gonna charge me up front anyway, and then I just get a credit back, and I could just do a quick video comparison between the two before I trade it in. Smart move, Grant. I think I've done that before, but I just wasn't thinking right now. I got to put my thinking cap on. Smart man. I heard the green color one is like holding a wet bar of soap. Yeah, the green color one is I'm not getting it. I'm going with the black when I do get it because the the green is a shiny, glossy one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really feeling that. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that. I don't want that glossy. Nah, I'm not feeling the shiny. But anyway, the keyboard. Were you guys thinking like keyboard? Were you shocked like keyboard? What are they announcing a keyboard for? I thought it was pretty strange. Um, yeah, I understand that it's the collab or whatever, but they're a cell phone company. They're still trying to keep their feet planted with the cell phones, and they're offering keyboards. No, 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 man. You on a different grant. You on a different time schedule, buddy. We know where you're at. You're like 5 hours behind us, I believe. I think you're like 4 or 5 hours behind me. Um, but yeah, man. I am curious about the keyboard still. I was like, what? The keyboard it's sleek and everything, but it's like, okay. But yeah, okay, man, that's good advice y'all gave me. So basically trade it in. And then the ultimate killer is, you know, the internals. The internals are gonna be better. You know what I mean? So I'll pretty much have the same device with hopefully better cameras and definitely more efficient battery and things like that. So it should be a good move. So the buds. What do you got? And obviously the buds are what they're going to push. But they new chair. I decided to buy me a new chair. This chair is very popular. Apparently, it's the Flex something, the mesh one with all the stuff. Um, it's supposed to be really popular, and so I decided to go ahead and kick out the cash and get me one. Ah, yes, good old back scratcher. I decided to kick out the cash and get me a new chair. It's supposed to be really popular, and I'm really excited about it. I bought it the other day, came overnight, put together, 20 minutes, boom, done. Really comfortable too, by the way. The tablet drops in April, as Grant has pointed out here, and I do plan on getting it. It just depends on the price. If it's more than 400, we know the history of Android devices as far as tablets go, and so I'm on the fence. It's going to depend on how much it costs. If it's over 400, I'm going to be a little skeptical. Now I know it's running a 4 nanometer chip, the Dimensity 9000, powerful chip. I know it's a good chip, but it's still fragmented by Android. So I mean, I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm hoping that it doesn't cost more than 400. Um, but I don't know. I mean, April's right around the corner. There's a lot of devices, and I just don't. I don't. I think it might be. I think they might try to drop that thing at like 5.99 or 6.99. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that they don't because people are going to be not too convinced. People already complain about the price of their phones, and I think their phones are very competitively priced, and they're definitely better hardware than tons of devices out there. But people still complain about the powers that be, and those people with those big voices always talk down on things, and they get them slam it before it even hits the market. Like all these commercials out right now. Stop playing. They're back. This commercials be. Um, I faithfully think that the OnePlus 11 should do very well amongst the OnePlus crowd. And then, like technically T was saying earlier, people just have to. I'm not going to sit up and promote I'm already giving them free advertisement right now, and every time I post a video, that's advertisement I'm not getting paid for from them. They're not paying me to do any videos, and so they can. The word will get spreaded. The word will get spreaded. The word will get spread out there for people who don't know, but if they're not listening, it doesn't matter. So it remains to be seen that there's a small group of people, which is thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of people who love the OnePlus devices. But look how many people in the world are using a cell phone. There's billions of cell phones out there, and there is a lot of OnePlus devices out there. Anybody know the number of activated OnePluses? Does anybody know? Yeah, I'm curious about that. But that tablet coming in with 12 gigs it says up to 12 gigs of RAM. So they might try to do that virtual RAM thing because this device has 8 gigs plus 8 gigs of virtual, where it pretty much takes some from the storage. But I'm definitely excited about getting my hands on this new OnePlus and the buds. I like the OnePlus buds, man. I really like them. Let me see what Grant says. What would be a good price for the keyboard, Barry? It has to be, yeah, it has to be under $100. Yeah, yeah. Let's see what it says here. I would like to know what you think about you think of the battery life when you get a OnePlus. I mean, the battery life on the OnePlus 10 is great for me. Battery always is going to depend on the user, and it just depends on what you have on your what. Now, I'm a little bit of a different user. I don't have a lot of applications on my device. I have probably no more than 115 apps. That may sound like a lot, but about 70 to 80 of those are just system stuff. It's the stuff that comes default on there, probably. And most of the apps. So I see people with 400 apps on their devices. I'm like, man, how do you got so many apps on your device? But I don't put apps on my device that I'm not using. So I have a lot of banking, stocks. I have a bunch of apps on there that's just not probably boring to you guys, but I have a couple of games. Nothing fancy. But I don't put a lot of games. Big John, what's going on? Tech Review C. I don't do a lot of high intense gaming, and it's not my thing. So battery life for me is phenomenal. I can go 2 days easy. These are all the apps I have. I said, let me see. Let me tell you officially how many apps I have. Let me see if it'll tell me. I go into apps. If it'll tell me how many apps I have. I'm waiting on Google. They should be knocking at my door any second. They were actually supposed to be here a long time ago. How many apps do I have? I'm trying to see if there's a way to tell me how many apps I have. The real savage. Art dog. Yep, I remember that. I sure do. I'd have to go through and count. So we got. I might have just under 100 on this one, but on average, there's Google. Just dropped my package. I might have you late too, by the way, Google. You're late. I might have 120 at most on my devices. At most. Might have 120. Maybe 120 at tops at any given time, but I always transfer my stuff so I don't have to keep setting up. I'll transfer so I can make sure I have all the same apps on my device. Now, this is something that I promote all the time. This is something I promote all the time. I don't like Facebook because of the resources that it pulls, and then all the privacy issues. Everyone's stealing information. Now Google, that's FedEx. That package is from Google, but FedEx they always doing something. I promote this all the time right here. I tell people use the light version of Facebook or the web app. This is what I tell them to do. And some people say, oh, I'm not doing that. But all you're doing is posting and watching, posting and looking. Why wouldn't you use the web app for something that's going to draw a lot of resources? Facebook pulls a lot of resources, a whole bunch, folks. And so I always promote people to take off Facebook. They have a light version that some people just don't want to use, or use the web app. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. So, folks, I'm getting ready to go kick it with what's in that box from Google. No spoilers. I guess I'm spoiling it right now on this live stream, but who's gonna know? But OnePlus, I will give you. I'll probably take your advice. I don't really want to. I'll make a decision whether I want to trade in or not. But I don't know. I've been going for about an hour now, so Dang, that's like 4 more packages on my porch. What the heck are all those? Oh man, I got to get these boxes off. Good thing I live in a pretty nice community because man, somebody could just roll up and scoop. But yeah, man, I am excited for what Google has to offer coming up. I'm excited to use the OnePlus when I finally get it in here. I'm going to buy it when we hang up off the stream. I'll probably just go ahead and order it. I already bought the S23, as I stated before. I do have an S23 Ultra. Okay, so quick story. I actually ordered the S23 Ultra because I wanted the lime green to collect it and compare it next to my S22 in blue. But after some thinking about it, I said, nah, I'm not going to get that device. This S22 Ultra is way too good. And then turns out I got sent an S23 Ultra. So we'll see how that works out. I'll be able to test out the S23 Ultra for you and give you some feedback on the S23 Ultra. But I purchased the S23 for myself, personal use. And I'm really excited about that. So, man, it's OnePlus's time to shine. Let's let them shine. Let's get those real reviews out there once the device gets into the real creators' hands, and we'll see how this thing turns out. It's your man Jay. If you guys enjoyed, did you order or are you gonna order the OnePlus 11? I'm buying it. I'm Gary. Hang up and I'm Gary. Click this stream off right now. I'm Gary. Hit purchase. It's your man Jay. See you in the next one. Take care. It's a storm coming. Lord Jesus, I gotta get my packages.